It was a quiet afternoon. I was setting up the robotics materials before my team of little engineers arrived. My friend had started trusting me with more responsibility as a coach. She said I could handle it. I looked at the wires, the motors, the Lego pieces spread across the table, and I wondered, am I ready for this? Suddenly, the door burst open, and my little team of engineers rushed in. Everyone was talking at once. We have robot missions. We have an innovation project. We need a presentation. We need a poster. We need to practice. Then one of them stopped and said, "Wait, how many things do we actually have to do?" And before I knew it, my mind started imagining something else. It was like trying to bake one simple cake, but everyone kept asking for more. More layers, different icing, sprinkles, fondant, decorations, and the cake kept growing and growing and growing until it was so big it almost toppled over. Just as I felt the giant cake was about to topple over, I snapped back to reality. I looked down and started clearing the table. That's when I saw two magazines lying side by side. One reminded me of that giant cake, just too much icing. And on the other, my friend had left me a note. She had given me more responsibility as a robotics coach, but not without help. She always left me little guides, little reminders when things started to feel too big. This time, the note said, "One slice at a time." So I asked, "Who wants snacks?" Every hand went up. I said, "All right, go to the pantry and make your snacks." And just like that, everyone started working. There was peanut butter, jelly, bread, fruit, plates, napkins. Someone dropped something, someone brought too much, someone forgot a knife. The work got done, but it was messy and very chaotic. Once everyone sat down with their snacks, I said, "All right, team, let's figure out what we actually made." So I started asking them questions. What did we end up with when we were done? What were the main things we created? What had to be ready before we could serve? And as they answered, we wrote each thing down. Snacks, drinks, table setting, cleanup, and slowly the chaos started to make sense. It wasn't one big job. It was a lot of small things that had to be ready. Then I asked them to go one step further. Under snacks, what did we actually make? Sandwiches, cut fruit. Under drinks, juice, water. Under table setting, plates, cups, napkins. And cleanup, throw trash, wipe the table. Now we weren't just looking at snacks anymore. We were looking at all the smaller pieces that made snack time possible. If competition day is the tree, then the roots are all the work we have to do before competition day. Let's write each big piece of work on a label and stick it on the biggest roots. So we took the long rectangular Lego labels and started writing robot missions, innovation project, presentation, poster, practice, and we stuck each one onto the big roots. Then I said, "Now let's take one big root and break it into smaller roots. What goes under robot missions?" The kids started writing smaller labels. Robot built, robot programmed, robot tested, and we stuck those under robot missions. I smiled and said, "Looks like we are ready to climb the tree."
Looks like this team has been climbing trees. But for today, you kiddos have earned the fruit of it. Go take a break. You know, I've been climbing trees for years now, and sometimes it feels like a jungle.
A jungle?
Multiple projects, multiple teams, multiple deadlines. That's why we need structures so we don't get lost. What you built today, that's called a work breakdown structure.
As long as it's not a nervous breakdown jungle. But tell me more about your jungle.
Okay, but let's start with one tree at a time. Every project is like a tree. Before we can enjoy the result, a lot of work has to happen underground. So we take the big project and break it into smaller pieces. Then we break those pieces into even smaller pieces. In project management, this is called a work breakdown structure. And when a piece of work is small enough for one person to take responsibility for, that piece is called a work package. Let me show you what that looked like on one of my projects. We had to build a lunch scheduler app for our company. At first, the goal sounded simple: build the lunch app. But we couldn't just write "build the app" on a sticky note and start working. We had to break it down. So first, we broke it into big pieces: screens designed, database built, code written, system tested, employees trained. Then we took one of those, like write the code, and broke it into smaller pieces: login page developed, calendar page developed, booking system built, notification system built, email reminders. Now the work was clear. Everyone knew what they were responsible for. That's what a work breakdown structure does. It turns a big, confusing project into small, clear pieces of work. It helps teams understand the full scope of work, assign responsibilities, estimate time and cost, track progress without breaking work down. Big projects feel like a jungle. With a work breakdown structure, you can focus on one tree at a time.
This reminds me of our train journey. Before the train can leave the station, the tracks have to be ready, the train has to be ready, the stations have to be ready, and the signals have to be ready. The train leaving the station is what everyone sees, but all the work happens before that. So the work breakdown structure is everything that must be ready before the project begins. That evening, I looked at these nesting dolls. Each one carried a smaller one inside. And it reminded me, big things aren't meant to be held all at once. They are meant to be opened, piece by piece. But once everything is broken down, the real question is, what comes next?